Hello everyone, my name is Devin Klott and this is my final video presentation. This summer, I had the opportunity to study abroad in Dublin, Ireland through Bucknell's Management 215 and 290 program. During the past 2 months, I balanced coursework, an internship with Oakberry, Ireland, and traveled throughout the country. Coming into the program, I expected to learn about Irish history and gain some work experience, but I ended up leaving with a much broader understanding on Ireland's transition over time, what it's like to work internationally, and how much you can learn by actually living somewhere else instead of just visiting it. The biggest part of my experience outside the classroom was my internship with Oakberry, Ireland. Going into it, this was my first professional internship, so I really wasn't sure what to expect. Throughout the summer, I worked on projects that covered many different parts of the business. I completed financial reporting using the sales data from every Oakberry store in Ireland, analyzed revenue trends, compared competitors, completed undercover store audits, reviewed customer experiences, verified store information, and even helped transition company information to new employee management software. One project that stood out to me was completing financial reports using Toast, their website, sales data, and organizing everything into Excel for management. It was the first time I had been trusted to complete real business projects with actual deadlines on my own. It taught me how important organization, communication, and attention to detail are in a professional environment. Another thing I appreciated was seeing how many different jobs exist within one company. Some days I was analyzing financial data in Excel, while other days I was visiting stores, completing operational audits, helping with marketing in Cork, or assisting with behind-the-scenes administrative work. It showed me that running a successful business depends on many different departments working all together. Our class focused on Ireland's transition from what we often called Old Ireland to New Ireland, and I think seeing those changes firsthand was what made the course so valuable. Instead of only reading about Irish history, we visited many of the places that shaped it. Walking through Killimon Goal made Ireland's struggle for independence feel much more personal after learning about the Easter Rising and other historical events. Visiting Dublinia helped explain how Viking and Norman settlements influenced the development of Dublin, while the National Museum of Archaeology and Archaeology Museum showed how thousands of years of Irish history laid the foundation for the country that exists today. Another visit that stood out to me was Dublin Port. Before getting there, I never realized how important the port is to Ireland's economy. Learning about the amount of trade moving through Dublin each day helped connect what we were discussing in class to the country's economic growth and globalization. The Guinness Storehouse was another highlight because it combined Irish history with business. Beyond learning how Guinness is brewed, I found it interesting to see how the company built such a recognizable global brand while still remaining closely connected to Irish identity. It reminded me that businesses can play an important role in representing an entire country. Outside of class and work, I tried to experience as much of Ireland as I could. Some of my favorite trips included the Cliffs of Moher, the Wicklow Mountains, Belfast, Cork, Kildare Village, and hiking west of Dublin. Every place felt completely different, and traveling around the country helped me better understand what we had discussed in class. One thing I noticed was the difference between Dublin and many of Ireland's smaller towns. Dublin reflects the country's rapid modernization, international workforce, and growing economy, while many smaller communities still maintain traditions, slower lifestyles, and landscapes that have existed for generations. Seeing those differences firsthand made our discussions about Ireland's transition much easier to understand than simply reading about them. One of my favorite memories was simply talking with local people throughout the summer. Whether it was during hikes, while traveling, or at local restaurants and pubs, everyone was welcoming and willing to share stories about Ireland and themselves. Those conversations probably taught me just as much as some of the scheduled activities that we had planned. And this is a couple pictures of the hikes I went on and some funny animals I saw. Living in Dublin every day was very different from taking a vacation. For the first time, I was balancing an internship, college coursework, daily commuting, cooking, traveling on weekends, and managing my own schedule in another country. There were definitely challenges along the way, including unexpected situations like dealing with a phone scam while still keeping up with work and school responsibilities. Looking back, those experiences probably taught me just as much as the easier days because they forced me to stay organized, solve problem identity, and adapt to situations that I was not expecting. By the end of the summer, I felt much more comfortable living independently and much more confident working in a professional environment. Also, apologies for the loud wind in the back. The rooms get very loud when it's windy outside. Looking back, I think this experience helped me develop both professionally and personally. Professionally, I gained experience working with financial data, Excel, operational analysis, deadlines, and business communications. I also learned how different departments work together to keep a growing company running efficiently. Personally, I became more adaptable, more independent, and much more comfortable stepping outside of my comfort zone. Living in another country taught me how important it is to stay open-minded, especially when experiencing different cultures, perspectives, and ways to do things, as well as finding a passion for exploring. More than anything, I learned that some of the best learning doesn't happen inside a classroom. It happens when you're applying what you've learned, meeting new people, and experiencing another culture firsthand. Overall, the study abroad experience has been one of the most rewarding opportunities I've had. I'm leaving Dublin with a stronger understanding of international business, a greater appreciation for Irish history and culture, and a level of confidence that I don't think I would have had gained anywhere else. Thank you so much for watching, and have a good rest of your day.